Alright, welcome back. It's time for some more Higurashi. Um, get some water too. So, where was I? Let me just go back because I kind of forgot where I was. Am I talking to the detective again? Yeah, looks like it was. Okay, let's kind of go review and see what happened before. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. Gee. Unfortunately, that's how it looks right now, but with putting aside the cause of death, without a doubt he was surrounded by a group of people and had taken a beating before he died. There was no curse, but an incident that unquestionably involved other humans. Man, so this is going to be pretty intense night. Let me get some more water to make sure I got enough. Because I know this is going to get pretty crazy, and it's going to get very graphic, at least with descriptions and probably imagery too. I just want to get some truth. Joys. Alright, so there's no other curse, but instant. That made me a bit relieved. I mean, it's not the curse, right? It's not some kind of ghost. Is it really better, though, that it's humans doing this? Really? I don't know. This is pretty savage. He basically tore his own throat out. This guy you were friends with, this young man, tore his own throat out. It's really sad. I was pretty. I should have seen something like that coming, but I didn't. I just didn't. So I'm gonna put this onto my lap, I think. We passed in front of the rather desolate, but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. So let me adjust. The car pulled into a restaurant parking lot, and I followed Oishi-san into the shop. It's pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there wouldn't be children in here in the middle of a weekday. Two, please, not smoking. This way, please. When you're ready to order, please call me over. We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oishi-san in the booth. How was she dressed? So what do you think? Aren't the waitress's outfits here cute? Huh? Well, I guess. The shop is always quite busy. It's more about the waitresses and the food, you see. Uh-huh. Oishi-san, you're leering. Hmm? Am I really? Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic, Oishi-san's after-meal cup of coffee arrived at the table. Yesterday we talked about Hinamizawa's past, didn't we? Yeah, that it was the village of man-eating demons or something like that. I didn't know much about it myself, so I asked my grandmother about it this morning. Oishi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket. Turns out, Hinamizawa used to be called Onikakushi, or Ogre's Abyss. Onikakushi. That's quite the name. The name is still around. The marsh where the Shinto priest's wife drowned herself is still called Ogre's Abyss. It's said that the depths of the marsh connect to the realm of demons. Of course, nobody had told me about anything about such an ominous marsh. And you see, it appears they were both feared and revered. By the way, just looking at this menu, it looks like it's like American or Italian food or something. I see some garlic bread sticks or something there. A respect born of fear. I guess you could say it was kind of a deification. A village of inhuman creatures. Seems the demons were senin, or mountain-dwelling mystics of sorts. Taking villagers with incurable illnesses into the Ogre's Abyss and healing them, for example. Even if we are calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or senin would be a more apt description. They don't seem like such terrible people, even though they were called demons. But they were still man-eating demons. According to this story my grandma told me, as payments for treating his son's illness, let us eat the mother who brought him here. That's apparently how things went. The price of curing her son was herself? That's unsettling. Of course, the mother took her son and ran. Then you see, all the people who lived in Onikakushi, the demons chased them down, rounded them up, and captured them. The entire village, apparently. It's quite a frightening thing to imagine. In the end, it seems both the mother and son were caught and eaten. The end. There's a problem with this story. Both witnesses in this story were eaten, so nobody will be able to tell the tale. Huh? Wow, there's plenty of old fables like this. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oishi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. But, well, there are quite a few other tales, where the demons from Onikakushi band together to capture their prey. I recall that Mion said all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. So similarities with how that part of unification overlapped. Normally they hunted down a single person, and they chose who it was going to be beforehand. Huh. That caught my attention. Oishi-san also appeared to be pondering what it meant. My grandmother told me that you must never interfere with the demon's hunt. You should just hole up in your house and hide under the covers, she said. So what does this all mean? It means you mustn't ever help or protect the prey. As long as you don't disturb the demon's hunt, no harm will fall upon the villagers. It seems there's that kind of rule. Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities. In other words, what happens if you break the rule? Well, they're man-eating demons after all. Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlapped with his theory that the perpetrators were all the village families. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die. When there was a group that was on their hunt, wasn't it? didn't dare speak it. Then Oishi-san, I guess, it looks like the village is it's either the village families or a group of villagers perpetrating the crimes. Well, what do you think, Maribara-san? Excuse me. With a cup of coffee, please. That's what I wanted to know. Seeing that we were both waiting for the others to say the last part. I waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Last year, I had a nagging feeling when Satoshi-kun disappeared. Oishi-san nodded as he watched the milk swirl around in his coffee. So those friends of Satoshi-san, meaning your group of friends, Maibara-san, I had a bit, really just a little bit, okay? A background checking done on them. If Oishi-san had said this to me before, I would have been furious since he told me earlier not to suspect my friends. But as I was now, I couldn't. This might sound pretty stupid. Maibara-san, if you feel that stupid, please say so. I'll just stop. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san. But none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice in my head, inside of me, was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This is probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. Please. That was all I could utter. Oishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments after he was certain I was ready. He began. The victims of the incident in the first year was the overseer. A few weeks prior, he had an altercation with Mion Sonozaki-san. Multiple altercations. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up. In the second year, the married couple who supported the project died in that accident, right? They had a daughter. Her name is Satoko Hoju-san. Huh? Satoko meaning Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. The Shinto priest and his wife who died in the third year, you see. Their daughter is Rika Furude-san. Rika-chan was the housewife who died in the fourth year. You know already, don't you? It was a step-aunt of Satoko Hoju-san. She was in her aunt and uncle's custody, as she had lost both her parents in the accident. She lived in the victim's house. I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I had thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from. But clicking and clacking, it snuck all the way to my feet. The one who disappeared the fourth year, by the way, he was Satoko-san's older brother. What? Just wait a second. Just a second. It took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water. Once again, wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiichi, my brother. But Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish to read out my feelings, he started speaking again. The last of the things I shouldn't have heard. All the victims seem to be connected to your group of friends. It has to be just a coincidence. Maibara-san, keep it down. Everyone is looking. Mion, Satoko, Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? It couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Oh, Rina is different, isn't she? Rina isn't connected with the victims at all. Rina Ryugu-san was living in a suburb of Ibaraki Prefecture up until last year. Well, it's true she hadn't directly met any of the victims. He said it in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away from Hinamizawa, she was suspended from school. Seems she went through her school building and broke all the windows. Rina-chan did that? She broke all the windows at her school? That same silly Rina had? Couldn't even imagine it. Seems that after her 3-day suspension, she didn't return to school. She went to a neurologist and she was diagnosed with dysautonomia. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. I wonder if it was something like a nervous breakdown. I heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. Neither of those matched Serena's easygoing personality. And in a counselor's report, he recorded all the conversation he had with Rina-san. It shows up. And quite a bit at that. What good? I pressed forward carelessly. It couldn't be anything more for me to regret. She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama. It felt like someone's stone-cold hand was caressing my back. Why? Why had Rina spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? Seems that the only Shiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost appearing in her house every night. Standing over her pillow, looking down at her. My mind froze. I couldn't process what I was being told. A while after that, she moved to Hinamizawa. Oh, that's right. She's not an outsider. According to the residency register, the Ryugu family used to reside in Hinamizawa. Rina-san moved to Ibaraki after she finished elementary school. My mind went completely blank. Ooh. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Maibara-san, are you alright? Shall we stop? I'm gonna use a restroom break actually. Be right back. Restroom? Actually, you know, I'll keep going. Keep going for a little bit longer. This is like too compelling. Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Now I understand Rina. What do all these things do? Interesting. Let me just adjust this for a second here. Where are the keys anyway? Oh god, this is just so intense. Now I understand, Rina. Then how about the last victim, Tomitaki-san? Who is he connected with? Irritated, allow one final reprisal. All of them. Have you forgotten Maibara-san? Didn't you all spend the night at the festival together quite merrily? Quite a few of the officers saw you enjoying yourselves. Now there was nothing I could respond with. I fell silent as my brain turned into mush. We should get going. Maibara-san, did you take your afternoon medicine? I completely forgotten about the medicine I had gotten today until Onirishi-san said that. Got another glass of water, and we left the shop after I chugged it down. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but do cars normally shake this much? It was almost like the road was desperately trying to tell me something. A big jolt was the difference in elevation of the road when it changes from cement to dirt. I was certain that I heard Tomitaki-san scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I'll drop you off at your house. You missed school because you were ill, correct? My apologies for the long conversation. Why did you talk to me? I blurted out the question. Really just blurted it out. I didn't expect an answer. I did check with you first, didn't I? We should just stop. Not that. Why did you reach out to me? I understood quite well that Oishi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents. But why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing, and I couldn't help. Everything Oishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, know? By chance, if there was a reason for Oishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that I looked suspicious to Oishi-san, as I was part of my own circle of friends. I'm retiring this year. I plan on moving away after retiring as my grandma wants. So while I'm still on the case, I want to bring the truth behind this incident to light. So, Oishi-san, you suspect them, don't you? All of them. Oishi-san didn't really give a response. It felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. This is mostly my intuition from 30 years on this job. Maibara-san, you're the one in danger. Huh? I wanted to reply that that was absurd, but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. I'll be retiring this year, so I won't be at the Watanagashi next year. So I want to settle things. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi, I might be the victim. I've been warned by the chief as well. Each incident in the case, in the string of cases, has been solved, so don't bring it up again, so I was told. This is the pressure that I'm facing. Oh boy. Pressure from what? Someone in Hinamizawa. You've arrived. Is this fine? After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. The chirping of Higurashi hurt my ears. One moment, just using the restroom. Let me just use the restroom. Be back in just a second here. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 second. It's not going to take long. Okay. Back to this. Get back to this. I won't mind if you just forget everything I told you today. But I'm still going to keep investigating. I'll end Oyashiro-sama's curse this year. So you're saying I should contact you if anything happens. It's fine. Just contact me when you feel you have to, Mayabara-san. I wasn't collected enough to understand Olushi-san's roundabout way of saying it. Be sure to take it easy. I'm sorry for throwing all of this on you while you're taking the day off because you're sick. I didn't really give any sort of response. I'll always be on your side. If anything, believe that. I'll be off now. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked-up dust. It felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. This was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. And I was just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Or is it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. Damn it, I don't want to die. For some time I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind the AC from the car. I wonder how much time had passed since I had laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. Probably Mom. Mom was quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it. Hello, this is the Mayabara residence. Oh, he's alive. Hello. This is Mion. How you doing? Is this one of Keiichi's friends? Keiichi's resting right now, but should I put him on? Oh, this is Dad. Haha, sorry. Haha. Idiot, you fell for it. Kei-chan! After our exchange, we had a good laugh together. Except, I was suspicious of her even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddens me. I'm relieved that you seem well. Rina was really worried, you know. Toko-chan was happy and said you got what you deserved. Rika-chan said, how unfortunate he's sick. Looks like everybody was making a big deal out of it. Well, you know, so Kei-chan, now bad time to come pay you a visit. A visit? No, it's okay, it's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see, so I was told to share them. So I'll bring you some. Hey now, I'll catch my cold. Not to worry, both Rina and I are too stupid to catch a cold. See you. Be there in a bit. She hung up cheerfully. Whew. That seltzer hits the spot, man. Rina's coming too? What it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Rina, but I guess if she was with Mion. I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. How are you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? I did just that. Thank goodness you look well, I was worried. Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering. And Rina looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. Didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit. Looks like you're not quite in the condition for it. You don't say. Her face appeared a bit sullen. And here, Keiichi-kun. These are the mochi Mi-chan's grandma made. Rina had held out the package wrapped in newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. It's quite hefty. Ah, thanks. Send my regards to your grandma, Mion. Yep. Ah, there's one that I made there in there as well. I wonder if Keiichi-kun can guess which one. So, this is Kei-chan's homework since he missed the club meeting today. There are letters on each mochi, so I'll ask you them all. Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Guess you'll be able to make it tomorrow. Man, what are you going to do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans? Mi-chan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Let's go. The other people here will get angry. They both saw my parents are home. Because the entrance was a mess. Alright, let's get going. By the way, Kei-chan, yeah? What did you eat for lunch? The sudden question startled me, and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I had never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. Why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane, it was almost meaningless. The way she said it was almost like she didn't even care about what I ate. I ate out. She must have suspected I was with Oishi-san. You know, I felt if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried to answer as quickly as possible. So, contrary to the efforts I had made, there was a pause before they replied. So you ate out for lunch, Keiichi-kun? The glimmer from Rina's eyes had changed at some point as well. She's not sharp, as if to make me feel the feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew. That's how it looked to me. Well, was it good? Why are you asking me this? You were speaking in an unusually low tone. Almost as if she knew that I had eaten at this restaurant in town. Now, who am thinking this? I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There was no way they could have known where I was. Seems you were with a rather austere-looking older guy. Who was he? Plop. The package of the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale. Oh, Keiichi-kun, who was he? Could it be the person from before? I wonder. I could feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew everything. How do you know that? It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking. Alexa, turn off living room. Because there's nothing this old man doesn't know. Mia sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So, Kei-chan, what did you talk about? Seems like you got pretty worked up over it, too. I'm talking about you guys. It didn't have anything to do with you, Arena. Isn't it a bit strange to hear our names come up even though nobody asked about that? Oh, God. Arena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside of me. I dug my own grave. My heart was stopping so much I felt like I was going to explode. Well, if you're trying to hide, this old man already sees through it all. Remember that. I'm shaking my head. Took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly. Keiichi-kun, you don't look so good. I think you should lie down. That's true, we should both head back home. So something had happened. They both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I had dropped the package of mochi. Shut the door, slowly closing behind them. All I could do was stare, as if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Just as the door was just about closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing again. Single eye peered through it, that narrow slit, and Mion's hawkish gaze peered at me once again. See you, K-chan. Yeah. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow, right? Thud. Door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle, even after a low laughter died off in the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. I sensed the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Oishi-san and I talked about. Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it, all could have been overheard from the beginning when Oishi-san met me. It was just so scary, guys. Just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. You know, what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessarily. Hey, Mafsio, how are you doing? What did they deem unnecessary? I want to talk to Oishi-san about one thing. They were warning me that that was unnecessary. What was it Oishi-san talked to me about? The incidents involving Oishiro-sama's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases, but were connected as a whole, as well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. No, more precisely, that Mion, Mina, Satoko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough that it let out a loud slap. If only that would wake me up from this nightmare. But for some reason, it felt like I was punching a blanket. Oh, glad to hear that, Mafsio. Doing pretty good. Playing this scary game alone. So glad you've come in. And I'm having a pretty good day. I just went to the gym and now I'm just relaxing with this game. And going to continue working on the visual novels that we're making tomorrow. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down. Settle down and sort things out. I just happened to be there at the time. Yeah, that's alright. Oh man. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had any ulterior motives. That's it. That has to be it. Thinking about it that way was the same with Rina. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rina was just correcting me on that. So I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Rina, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. Felt like my mind was mixed up like a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if she squeezed my head. Thinking that I suddenly felt like vomiting. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. Didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. When I just moved here, I couldn't make heads or tails of everything. They were really kind to me. Mina was really kind and always looked after me. As long as this strange affection didn't rear its ugly head, she was really pretty cute. Mio's also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender. She was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. I'm not getting bored. And Rambunctious Otoko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She'd speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends. After hearing of the better untold secrets of Hinamizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitaki-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. And hearing from Oishi that Mio and Rina and Satoko were all suspicious, that everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Satoshi told me, Oishi-san told me that, oh, strange stuff. Should have not listened to those weird stories. And I even shouldn't have heard about the past incidents from Tomitaki-san united with Tanagashi. If I hadn't gotten this strange sense of curiosity, if I just hadn't. That's right. So that's why they... Tomitaki-san. An impudent outsider speaking to the likes of me after everybody went out of their way to keep it secret from me. They'd probably blank Oishi as well for trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left unburied. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course, a guy like that is going to be effed, killed. They'll probably kill him, yeah. Okay, both Tomitaki-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall to Yushiro-sama's curse and just die. It wasn't their fault. It's my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't their fault, wasn't their fault, wasn't their fault. I fell into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling, like I had just gotten up, but with ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I had completely recovered. I'm going to school tomorrow, right as rain. Agreed, everyone. I'll take part in the club activities. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I was one of them after all. That reminds me, I need to eat those mochi. I hope I'm able to tell which one Rina made. Remember the homework they brought with them when they visited me? Wow, club to delivery, that was something else. I picked up the package I dropped on the floor, heading to the living room. It'd be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. Filling mouth and mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were five plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. Now then. They said Rina made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. It's a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference is probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mio's grandma was, but Rina had to be different from hers. Okay, well, I can see one more is made very neatly. Well, just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out. The challenge depends on whether or not this is Rena's. Calm down, think even harder. Mune had said her grandma made a ton of them. She told to give them out, if I remember correctly. I mean, 4 of these were from that large batch. How about Rena? Probably only made 1. Probably let it spend quite a bit of time on it. Meaning, the one Rena had made was this one, E. For a moment, I thought it might have been a trap Mion later, as she knew I'd pick it up on that, but that wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since Rena made it, probably wasn't a trap. Alright, my tea's ready too. I'll start with the defending champ Mion's grandma. Let's see. Not bad. Smooth red bean paste with soft, chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size and the portion. But, first a bite. It's quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The beans were exactly the same, so there was little difference in the flavor. The difference was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So scientific factor would be presentation and volume. The well-formed, well-sized champion versus Rena, the challenger. Oh man. I only had 1 bite of Rena's. I had to wait until I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. My prediction was right. My tongue touched something. I feel like something edible, so I reached inside my finger and grabbed it. What? What was this? If I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mooch as fast as I could. Slammed against the wall, causing the bean to splatter, sticking for a moment and slid down to the floor. Don't check by my own actions. What are you doing? You didn't go away and make it for me. How could I? Don't check. I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act. I remembered what I had taken out of my mouth. First I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Rena's hair, it's still quite long, and it wasn't this short. It was also a bit too hard to be hair. Thick enough to roll around my tongue. A bit of metallic sheen on the end of it. Oh yes, there was a hole for where the thread goes through, like a sewing needle. That's right, quite very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well, quite sharply. It really did look just like a sewing needle. Huh? What I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle just a bit ago. Couldn't answer, but a voice inside me already knew and let me just know by chattering my molars together. Couldn't say it was a terror that was welling up inside me. Suddenly I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain in the back of my throat. I stuck my finger in the back of my throat and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly I felt the urge to vomit. The sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both hands over my mouth, and after writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again, but this time my heart was intensely throbbing. Then it finally registered. Exactly what was mochi. I could think of the correct words. My hands were already on the move. Splat, plop, splort. Press the rest of the mochi against the wall. Geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam on the wall evoked a terrible omen in my mind. Looking away, I dashed after the hall and flew up the stairs, where I was staying under my covers until morning. Clutching my shoulders, howling mad in a mix of fear, anger, frustration, and sadness. It wasn't a threat or warning or reminder, nothing as simple as that. What happened in Hamizawa? What's happening in Hamizawa? What happened? I didn't know the answer to any of these questions. Where did I break the taboo? Regardless, now Reina, Mion, and others, they consider me an enemy. And they thought I should just die. I won't let you kill me, not for such a pointless reason. I fell into a restless sleep as I was crushed in negative emotions. It felt as though I was being drawn to a brilliantly bottomless marsh. Holy shit. Oh my god. Whew, man. How about that chapter? How about that? This is really intense. Okay, let's continue on. Everything's gonna be just like normal at school, right? Right? Tap, tap, tap. Sound muffled footsteps in front of the door to my room. It was signs of whoever they belonged to was ascertaining if I was inside. Of all things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. Very much conscious, my body hadn't caught up yet. Even with danger bearing down on me, it was just beyond the door. What if I was completely paralyzed? Dad, this is shit, Tara. Please just sleep. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... Ah! Eek. Swung to my feet and flew through my covers at my mom, who was opening the door. Whoa, Keiichi, what's the matter? Oh, sorry, I was still half asleep. Thought I was 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt like morning. It felt nothing like morning. This is so intense. Yesterday, I must have fallen asleep right after that. I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest, but it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up and my sense of balance felt off. I felt feverish enough that it was clear for me that I was still not well. Okay, Ichi. How are you feeling? Can you make it to school? I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared for it. So plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed Anita, what would have happened? Or what if I had pierced my tongue? There was undoubtedly a murderous intent, but I don't think that's all it was. If they really wanted to kill me, then there were more certain ways to do it. It wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. I mean, I didn't want to believe it, but that thought was just a threat from Nina Mion. I'm sure glad you didn't die, but next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. She seemed more concerned about her son missing 2 days of school than being sick. Oh, shit. It's definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't really physically ill. Some intense stuff, man. It'd be hard for you to get backtrack once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get up. They say wellness is a state of mind. I heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than anyone. Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Rina-chan comes to get you. Mom's tone meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up skipping a second day. By the way, were you the one who had gotten bean paste all over the living room floor, Keiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't give much of a reaction. So Mom didn't question me further about it. I'm not going to say that she was certain I was getting up. Mion said after she left, "Hate if you miss school tomorrow." Came back and dwelled in my back of my head. she mean by that? You didn't even have to really think about it. Don't be absent. Taking that a bit further, it was the same as her saying, I just go about living my life as if nothing had happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For example, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Higurashi-Ch1 enticing me with something unusual. Meaning, if I didn't wash my mouth or did something differently from the norm, in effect, it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. And it seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. How was it going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost certain creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. So forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these last few days, I'd be able to keep living on like normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could. That's a lot hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I had just rejected. Mia was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rule there, as a chance. Was what I did really something so unforgivable? Mia had given me another chance. She was saying, if I just forgot everything and kept living my life like I had been, it'd be forgiven. Keiichi, food's going to get cold. Hurry and get down here. Rina will be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. I put my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I picked up my somewhat bland breakfast. Since I didn't have much time, it was already past when I usually met up with Rina. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I need to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that happened last 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. Forget this to be normal. I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Rina. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. The chime signaled that Rina had arrived. Mom hurried me along. Come on, Rina. Chan's almost already here. Hurry, hurry. My mom's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. I was reluctant to see Rina, who was waiting there on the other side of the door. Rina on the other side was the Rina I knew. Couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Morning. Invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway. I came since Keiichi-kun was a bit late. Will he be okay today? I wonder. The manner in which Rina was concerned was without doubt the Rina I knew. It was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything that happened yesterday. Pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened the following years. Forget about the people falling to their deaths and terminal illness and suicide and the lynching and disappearances. Forget it. Forget all of it. Forget that Rina and me was scary. Of course, forget it all. Forget about everyone. Forget about the mochi. Forget. Rina once again asked to make sure. Can you make it to school? Yeah, I'm fine. Great. Then let's go. Mi-chan is waiting. Rina showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. Her nervousness dissipated. My nervousness dissipated giving way to relief. Toko's channel was so insistent she could do it. Every walking, Rina talked about a lot of different stuff, more so than usual. Then? Toko-san, his child is so clumsy, she just failed no matter how time they touch a child. How? She was so kawaii. Everything Rina talked about was just silly nonsense, so I just replied every so often and laughed about it. We passed by one of our neighbors and they called out to us. Oh my, Keiichi-chan and Rina-chan, aren't you two a bit late today? Yon-chan says she was going on ahead. Uh-oh, did Mi-chan look mad? I wonder. When the hell have Keiichi-kun? As we smiled and parted ways with our neighbor, they turned back toward me and stuck out our tongue. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile. Ah, Keiichi-kun smiled. What? Rina stopped and stared at me. I was thinking you still haven't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiichi-kun, but you seem fine. Fine. With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Mara. Hey, how can you still doubt Rina-chan after she showed you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today. I imagined everything that had happened because I was bedridden and delirious. I really hoped that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish. There's only one thing I'd wish for. I want what had happened in the past few days, more specifically from the night of Onikakushi up until last night. I want all that to have never happened. How many times I wish for the past few days. As long as Rina kept smiling like this, I think it might become reality. So I wanted Rina to keep smiling. Keep on smiling. So Keiichi-kun. Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? The vein in which your mind was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Rina's smile was the same as usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? Of course, she wasn't asking the question at face value. In other words, Rina was asking, did you get the message? Probably trying to convey that. Keiichi-kun? I was looking to give an answer. Rina stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Don't hesitate. Rina was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course, but both my throat and mouth had gone dry. Having an answer, Keiichi. Not that much time had passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly. D? Rina playfully mimicked what I had said. Rina's reaction was normal. It seemed that there wasn't as long a pause as I thought. Somehow finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious. However, my strained efforts neither subtly nor brightened Rina's expression. When I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. After a few moments, Rina broke into her usual soft smile and giggled through a joyful voice that seemed to echo through the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well. I see. So you did all of them, I wonder. My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the sewing needle? Was that what she was asking? If I swallowed, then I wouldn't be here. I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. Scared it out of my wits, but that's how I played it. Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Rina made? That homework was it due today? Yeah, it's due today. Michan will get angry. It's probably a penalty game ready for you. Both looked at each other again. To a casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe then, I didn't even think it was just the usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of the giggling Rina. Lies, so they called that unexpected, piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Rina's mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold trickle down my back. Was it only at that particular time that something evil had possessed Rina? No, that was wrong. That was still Rina. Oishi-san told me, didn't he? Actually, I looked into her. Before Ryugu-san moved away to Uemizama, she was suspended from school. Seems that she went through her school and building and broke all the windows. Rina had a disorder that normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact wouldn't change. But I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke the glassware at the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. If something had, for some sudden outburst of anger, then maybe she'd break a pane or two. But she broke all the windows all throughout her school. So imagine going through your own school and breaking the windows with a bat. Oh, scared the hell out of me. Swinging full force at each pane of one after another pane. No heat to the flying shards. Okay, we're gonna save for now. We're gonna grab a light dinner and come back. I feel like I want to have something actually solid right now. So, we'll be back in just a bit. Okay.